Greek goddesses. The 8 most dangerous Greek goddesses of love and family happiness. These goddesses played a very important role when it came to love. Although many of the goddesses in particular were vindictive prostitutes who exacted some ruthless revenge on their gods, looking at you, Hera, there's no denying that there were some sexy little rebel titans roaming around Mount Olympus. Welcome to the Legends in the Shadows channel, and let me tell you all about those 8 goddesses. Number 2. Aphrodite. Known as the goddess of love and beauty. Aphrodite is probably one of the most well-known goddesses, but in my opinion, has the strangest backstory. Stories differ on exactly how she came to be, but the general consensus is that she appeared when the Titan Cronus castrated his father Uranus and threw his dangling limbs into the ocean. A beautiful foam formed from this, and from it came a fully grown, sexy Aphrodite. Pretty weird conception story if you ask me. Now, as one of the original goddesses of beauty and love, Aphrodite was by all accounts completely attractive, so it's really no surprise that she held it down a bit on Mount Olympus. She had affairs with Mars, Poseidon, Adonis, and Dionysus, although she was already married to Hephaestus and had a ton of children among various gods. Although she always looked beautiful with jewelry and a pretty smile, she remained a bit of a weak, basic goddess according to the Iliad. This is not surprising, though, considering the kids running around on Mount Olympus. But she would have been doomed. Number 3. Psyche. Known as the goddess of the soul. Psyche was not born a goddess, but was actually a mortal princess and the daughter of a rich king. Both the Psyche sisters looked very pretty, but were nothing compared to Psyche's stunning beauty, and people would come from nearby villages to worship her exceptional beauty. She was worshipped and pampered like a god, but her worship took away the admiration of the goddesses, which they disliked. Aphrodite was a little irritated by all this attention that Psyche was getting, and when Psyche fell in love with Aphrodite's son Eros, Aphrodite gave Psyche some very difficult tasks that she had to complete if she ever wanted to be with her son. These included tasks like fetching water from a river guarded by snakes. Awesome work. However, Psyche completed all her tasks like a boss without any fear. Unfortunately, and despite her efforts, good old Aphrodite Karen still wouldn't calm down. The uproar that followed caused Big Daddy Zeus to intervene, who was obviously feeling sorry for poor Psyche. He made Psyche immortal and brought her to Olympus to join the gods and live with her husband Eros forever. Number 4. Persephone. Known as goddess of the underworld. Persephone was renowned as an exceptionally beautiful maiden, the personification of vegetation and the daughter of Demeter, goddess of the fertile earth. One day, while she was picking flowers, Hades kidnapped Persephone and took her to the underworld to be his wife. Hades was captivated by Persephone's beauty and wanted her to live with him in the underworld forever as his queen. Because of Persephone's wonderful nature and appearance, she was a favorite in the underworld and helped many people adjust to their new lives there. Hades built a beautiful garden for her, and he saw a side of her that no one else saw, and he fell deeply in love with her. Demeter was very sad for her daughter, searching everywhere in the world. When she discovered that Hades had taken Persephone, she threatened to never allow the earth to be fertile again if Persephone did not return from the underworld. As usual, Zeus added his lightning rod to the equation, and an agreement was reached that Persephone would spend 3 months of the year with Hades in Hades, and the rest of the time with her mother on Mount Olympus. This explains the changing seasons. In the winter, Persephone returns to Hades and her mother is unhappy, so the land becomes barren. But when she returns in the spring, the land is bountiful once again. Persephone's beauty is often depicted as pale with golden hair. And with a husband like Hades, she had to be a little eccentric. Number 5. Artemis. No names, virgin goddess of the moon, hunter. Artemis, also sometimes known as Diana, was the daughter of Zeus and Leto, and the twin sister of Apollo. known as the protector of women, goddess of the moon and animals, and a pure virgin. Despite being beautiful, Artemis was a very brave woman and could take care of herself when needed. Her birth story tells that she came first, and she assisted her mother in the birth of her twin brother Apollo. Talk about a spark plug. Artemis also despised the male of the species, and openly opposed marriage and the loss of independence for women. Once, when a male hunter couldn't stop himself but watched the beautiful Artemis bathing nude, she was so enraged by this that she turned him into a stag. Big dick energy or what? She was full of sexy and independent vibes, and loved to roam the woods with her maidens. Artemis didn't actually have any children and, to be fair, she didn't form relationships with a group of post-Ambrosia gods like a lot of others on the list. But her commitment to her purity and chastity definitely needs a sexy, independent salute. Number 6. Hebe, known as the goddess of youth and forgiveness. Hebe is an interesting goddess as she was known as the cupbearer and served nectar to the gods. Kind of like a high-class seductive barista. She had highly revered powers of restoring youth, and her beautiful maiden image meant that many worshipped Hebe as the goddess of forgiveness. Hebe embodied the spirit of play and assistance, and would help her mother Hera into her chariot, run a bath for hours, and of course feed grapes to Aphrodite. Despite her stunning beauty and loyalty to the gods, Hebe was royally dismissed when one day she slipped and her dress opened up revealing her naked body. It was uncomfortable during the shift to say the least. But that didn't stop Heracles, or Hercules as we know him, from putting on the ring and making Hebe his wife, so perhaps the accidental flash did him good. Number 7. Eoes, known personification of dawn. Eoes manifested in physical form as the daughter of the god and goddess of light and heavenly light, Hyperion and Thea. Eoes reigned as the personification of dawn, and every day she rose from the sea, opening the pearly gates of heaven and bringing light along the way. Described as an incredible beauty, pink and gold with beautiful white wings, she is beginning to look more and more like a Victoria's Secret angel every minute. Eoes had many lovers in her time, including the hunters Orion and Cephalus. But it was with her husband Astræus that Eoes interestingly gave birth to the morning star. Number 8. Athona, known the virgin goddess of wisdom. Athona is another goddess who has a very interesting origin story. When Athena's mother Metis found out she was pregnant by him, Zeus feared that Metis would have a son who would overthrow him. As a result, he thought the best way would be to swallow the pregnant Metis, and yes, let's just say doing that worked. It seems like this is the best time to point out that Zeus clearly had some serious daddy issues that he was struggling with at this stage of her life. Despite her best father's efforts, Athena emerged from Zeus, head fully grown, dressed in her battle garb and ready to paint the town red, literally. Athena's enduring legend at creating battle strategies and seeing the big picture is so immense that the city of Athens was named after her. She is wise and strong and is definitely the goddess I want in my corner if something ever goes awry.